How we doing, guys? I am back with another Outriders video. In this video I'm going to show you my solo run through of the Eye of the Storm, World Tier 15. I got bronze on it. I think I did it in 13 minutes and 2 seconds. But it is possible to do solo with a Devastator build. I'm going to show you the build that I run, the class setup, kind of go over my gear and everything. If you don't want to watch any of that, you can skip to later actually in the video where I actually have my run through, if that's all you're interested in. But there's timestamps in the description. Leave a comment, let me know what you thought. If I can improve this build anyway, let me know. Let me know what you're running. I'm interested to see what other Devastators are doing. And yeah, let's get into it. So let's start out with my weapons first. I am using the Inferno Seed. And what I have basically on the Inferno Seed is just the Wrath of Moloch, which is what comes with it. It's level 50. My firepower with it is 95k, which is pretty good. And every crit shot, every 3 seconds or so, will do 161,000 damage and inflict burn around the enemies within a 5-meter radius. This basically stops the enemies for a short while. Pursuing me and kind of pushing forward. It stops them in their tracks. I can then earthquake them or use my skills later, but accompanying the Inferno Seed is the Wicker. I like using the Wicker because it inflicts ash on enemies. There's really not like a cooldown on it. It's 1 second, but you can kind of switch to it and stop somebody in their tracks. I also have Ravenous Locust on this. This comes from a sniper rifle. I forget which one it was, like the Molten somebody let me know. I'm just blanking on the name right now. But basically I have ash, and then shots create a swarm of locusts dealing 258,000 damage over 10 seconds and inflicting weakness on enemies. So this is kind of huge. We're stopping the enemies from moving forward. We're inflicting locusts on them. We're inflicting weakness on them. And then we're hitting them with our skills. So on top of that, we're inflicting burn on them. So we have burn, bleed, weakness. They're going to take a lot of damage. So I guess we'll do the weakest part of my build is the helmet. The helmet for this particular mission is not very good. So I boost my anomaly power by 11,000 for each elite present on the battlefield. This is really good on maps like Boomtown or Chemical Plant, things where there's a bunch of elites at one point in time. It boosts my anomaly power huge. So I didn't even think about it doing this. I could probably switch it out and maybe get some better time, but I just kind of left it on because my gear is it's pretty set up nicely for me. So for this gear, for this skill that I'm running, we want anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and skill light leech. We want to get our health back, but we want a low cooldown on things so we can spam that earthquake, and we want the highest anomaly power we can get. So this helmet helped me with that, but as you can expect with a bleed build Devastator, I'm running the Seismic Commander armor, pants, and gloves. So the armor, I think the helmet's good. I've not gotten the helmet yet. But the armor I know has anomaly power and status power cooldown reduction. Anomaly power, status power, cooldown reduction. Status power would be nice, but I like the skill life leech. And the gloves don't really have what we're looking for. So that's kind of my one downfall of this build is the gloves. But the mods are running Impale, Earthquake, and I don't have anything in the Gravity Leap. But like I said, if I wanted to swap out the helmet, I'd probably put another class skill in there, or I don't know, something to improve my firepower probably. But I'm running Impale, so we want to be able to strike 2 additional targets. We want to deal more damage with Impale. Earthquake, we want to activate it as many times as we can, so one of my mods is activate one more time. I have another one on my gloves, and we're increasing the damage of Earthquake because that's kind of our main. We're going to be spamming that the most. I also have Tainted Blood on my pants. Okay, so we're increasing the damage dealt to enemies affected with bleed by 25%. This is pretty big because everybody we shoot should be bleeding. There's going to be, small instances where maybe we're shooting somebody and things are on cooldown, but hopefully that doesn't happen. And then my boots, I got anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and status power on them. And so I went with those. I found one that had Impale on it, so you could activate it one more time before cooldown. And then the biggest one on here is Earthquake inflicts bleed on enemies. So that's going to be our main damage dealing source. Let's move over into the skills. I'm using Earthquake. So every time I use Earthquake, it does 161,350 base damage. And that doesn't include, like my helmet, improving anomaly power, the various things I have on my guns and things like that. But we're using Gravity Leap. Some people will use, for this build, some people will use the Golem, because there is a skill that improves your anomaly power after using a protective skill, but I'll kind of show you the direction I went with it. I like Gravity Leap because if you get cornered, on a wall, or you get a bunch of enemies that jump you and kind of push you back, Gravity Leap, you can get out of everything with Gravity Leap. It's nice. I like it. Even if enemies are shooting at you, or you're really close to a boss that's about to do, a melee attack or something, you can Gravity Leap and go somewhere else or go back to him. It doesn't really matter. So I highly suggest using Gravity Leap. It's nice, especially for getting the times on like Boomtown and Chemical Plant. Those marksmen that kind of run around, Gravity Leap will help you get over there faster and kind of get that gold time if you're on the edge. So, and then of course we're using Impale. So right now our Impale does 283,930 damage base. This thing, when I hit somebody with bleed and then I use Impale, I have the mod on my armor that Impale does 50% more damage to people with bleed. So we're basically hitting for almost 600,000 on my Impales. So we have to use it when somebody's bleeding, of course, to get the most benefit out of it. But it's just a massive hit. Couple this with our Locusts, which inflict weakness, and the Wrath of Malak, which burns enemies. We're basically stopping everybody, so it's pretty nice. We'll move over to the class tree here. So we are running the Seismic Shifter class. Kind of go through the setup here. We're using Anomaly Reservoir, increase our anomaly power as much as we can. We're taking Seismic skill cooldown, so we want to spam Earthquake and Impale as much as we can. We're improving our anomaly power as 6%. Anytime we see that in this build, we've taken it. So I've seen some people, where is it, use the Paladin, right? Where this is where you benefit from the Golem. You can use Golem and improve your anomaly power by 45% for 10 seconds. That's a big number. That's huge. So, but it's highly contingent on using Golem. So if you don't have Golem up, you might be losing, different damage elsewhere that you could be obtaining. But Perpetual Motion, reduce kinetic skill cooldown by 15%. So that's our Gravity Leap. We could have gone with Pure Anomaly, increase your resistance piercing by 15%, but we have the Locusts on, which inflict weakness. So hopefully we're just kind of bypassing that. Again, we're increasing our anomaly power. I took anomaly bullets on this. Increase firepower by 15% of your anomaly power. So we're trying to get the max anomaly power we can, and that'll benefit our firepower. Going up, we took Stone Circle. Extend the distance considered to be close range by additional 4 meters. Now what this does is anytime we kill somebody as the Devastator, we're gaining health back, right? That's just a part of the Devastator class, right? Anytime we kill somebody close, we get health back. Now we're increasing the meters of what's considered close range, so we can increase our health regen by a little more. It goes basically to the end of Earthquake. So it kind of, any enemies you're killing with Earthquake, max range might be a little off, but basically you're there. Anytime you use Earthquake and kill somebody, you're going to get health back, so it's kind of nice. And then increase your armor by 7% for each enemy in close range. So not only have we extended our close range, by additional 4 meters, we're gaining armor for any enemy in that close range. So we're gaining armor and we're healing, which is pretty nice. I think this is a must-have, Stone Circle. Moving on, we're reducing our cooldown again, getting more anomaly power, increase damage by 20% against enemies below 30% of health. So that's pretty nice. Anytime we get a boss pretty low, we start doing crazy amounts of damage to them. But the reason we're not taking increases bleed duration is enemies just aren't surviving that long. So we're trying to do as much damage as we can, and we don't need bleed to last that long because we have such low cooldowns. So we don't really need red rivers. Increase our anomaly power again. Bleed afflicted on enemies deals 30% more damage. This is the big one right here. Bloodbath. And then we're also healed for 25% of our bleed damage. So basically we're inflicting bleed on everybody. We're healing, we're getting armor. We're basically a giant tank. This is the way it should be played. So we're increasing our skill life leech, increase our armor bonus by 40% of our anomaly power. Again, this is just benefiting anytime we have anomaly reservoir on. You know, we're trying to get the highest anomaly power we can get. This also goes back to our skills, or armor, sorry. We want anomaly power and status power and cooldown or skill life leech. So skilled sentry, increase your armor by 20% and resistance by 20% for 10 seconds when your skill ends. So every time we're spamming, we have 3 spams of earthquake. Okay, so we can hit it once and it triggers this armor by 20%, resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. We hit it again, it kind of resets. But every time we use a skill, we're increasing our armor and our resistance. It's really nice. So we're going to take the resistance piercing on this one. Take the 30% more damage again. And then this is the big one right here. Increase seismic skill base damage by 50%. So you can see what our base was for earthquake and everything. So 161,000, 103,000 for gravity leap. And I don't even have anything in gravity leap. It's just a skill that I'm using. I don't have anything, any mods or anything on gravity leap. So and then impale does, you know, 283,000 damage. But when it's on a bleeded enemy, somebody who's bleeding, we're doing almost 600,000. So it's really nice. I think this is probably one of the best builds for the Devastator. I've seen the statue build. I've tried running different builds with different sets. So I tried the statue head. I tried the basic, firepower build, and nothing seems to kill enemies as fast as this bleed build does. On top of the, the guns that we're using, it's pretty nice. We're able to kind of stop enemies at our will with the inflicting ash on them, and then the locust is a 6-meter radius of the target, so it doesn't have to kill anybody. We're just inflicting weakness on everybody. So as you see, as I play through the Eye of the Storm, I'm trying to freeze the enemies with the wicker and basically get weakness on anybody that's coming around me, so that I can then use my earthquake and skills and things go a little faster. So, but like I said, the only thing that I would change on this build is the helmet, but it's only for this mission because there's not a lot of elites in this mission. There's only, there's the three pillars or whatever, and then Yaguk. So, I would probably change the helmet out for something better if you can find one. But this helmet's really good for the build in general for all other maps throughout the, expeditions. So, all right, let's get into the gameplay. All right, we can do this. I think this one's probably the easiest one.
this.
Irak! Krator Irak! Ich matu Mayu Targakma!
We did it.
Their leader is dead. For now. Channa, do you see anything?
I don't think so. But we're still alive, right? I think you stopped it. What the hell was that? How did they bring him back?
I don't know.
Outrider detected.
But I could sense the soul
granted.
of the packs he once was. Trying to break through.
They were packs before they were pharaohs. Even in their primal state, they have a far greater understanding.
Let's go, baby. We can't get gold, but we beat it. Nice.